Lennox Lewis was asked for his view on Terence Crawford's preparation for the Canelo-Alvarez fight, and he didn't hold back his admiration. Lewis explained that Crawford's training has been intense, precise, and brutal, and he felt that Crawford's boxing IQ stood out. He said that when Crawford switches into that focus mode, there is no doubt that he knows exactly what needs to be done in the ring. According to Lewis, this is what sets great fighters apart. When they lock in mentally, they already have the fight mapped out in their head. He added that Crawford's preparation shows how ready he is for this challenge, emphasizing that the discipline, the sharpness, and the work rate demonstrate that Crawford is prepared to stay at the top and prove he belongs there. Lewis remarked on Crawford's movement, describing him as elusive, fluid, and difficult to trap, with stamina and work rate that could trouble anyone, even Canelo. When asked whether he thought the fight would go the distance or end early, Lewis avoided a direct prediction, but underlined that Crawford's calm and professional approach suggests he is mentally where he needs to be. Brian Bomac McIntyre, Crawford's longtime trainer, also spoke about his fighter's mindset. Bomac stressed that Crawford isn't feeling pressure going into this fight. He said many people are treating this bout as a historic event, but for Crawford it is simply another challenge. He's not overawed, not nervous, and not distracted by the weight of the occasion. Bomac explained that Crawford has prepared sharply and deliberately, focusing on the exact execution he'll need. He said that Crawford knows what must be done in the ring and has been training with the precision required to make it happen. According to Bomac, Crawford is calm, ready, and has a clear strategy. He insisted that outside talk, whether from fans, critics, or pundits, does not affect Crawford. Instead, the fighter trains the way he plans to fight, and Bomac believes that approach will get the job done. The conversation turned to the way fans in the boxing community are framing the fight. Many point out that Crawford is moving up in weight, but others remind them that he carries genuine punching power. Bomac and other voices emphasized that when Crawford fought Errol Spence, most people believed it was a 50-50 contest, yet Crawford dismantled him in one of the most dominant performances in recent years. The suggestion was made that fans should not be shocked if Crawford manages to stop Canelo. In fact, Bomac said fans might be surprised by how much Crawford could frustrate and eventually break down Canelo. He explained that as Crawford settles into the new weight, his opponent will be in even more trouble. Larry Merchant, the legendary commentator, added his perspective by drawing a historical parallel. He recalled the famous Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvin Hagler fight. At the time, many thought Leonard had little chance of beating Hagler, who was seen as the bigger, stronger, more dangerous man. But Leonard's footwork, timing, and ring intelligence carried the day. Merchant said Crawford is in a similar situation to Leonard, a smaller man moving up to face a naturally larger, stronger champion. Merchant told a colleague that if Leonard could win that fight, then Crawford absolutely has a chance against Canelo. He explained that the blueprint is already there. Crawford must use sharp movement, control the pace, step in and out with his attacks, land at angles, and then get out before Canelo can respond. Merchant emphasized that it's about getting in, landing, and getting out over and over, forcing Canelo to chase. Trainer Buzzy Ennis also shared his opinion. He argued that Canelo has shown moments of frustration in the past, particularly when facing slick, mobile opponents. Ennis warned that Crawford is exactly the kind of fighter who can make Canelo lose patience. Unlike some of Canelo's recent opponents who move too much without making him pay, Crawford can create angles, land counters, and force Canelo into uncomfortable spots. Ennis said this fight won't come down to raw strength, but to rhythm and control. If Crawford can establish his rhythm and make Canelo chase shadows, the opportunity for a career-defining victory will be there. Ennis went further by describing what he would instruct his own fighter to do. He said if he were coaching against Canelo, he would have his fighter box smart, land shots as Canelo comes forward, and then tie him up whenever he sets his feet. He stressed the importance of keeping the fight in the center of the ring, away from the ropes, and repeating that cycle until Canelo grows frustrated. He would emphasize a steady jab, constant touches, and relentless movement combined with real punches that make Canelo respect the attack. Ennis noted that when Canelo's frustration boils over, he lowers his guard, and that is when he can be caught. Bernie the boxer, another key figure in Crawford's corner, went a step further with his bold claim. He declared that Canelo is practically tailor-made for Crawford. Bernie said Canelo's style, methodical, powerful, and often predictable, fits right into Crawford's ability to read and adjust mid-fight. He praised Crawford's instincts, discipline, and courage, stating clearly that Crawford is not coming just to participate in a super fight, but to dominate it. He emphasized that Crawford knows exactly how to win and is willing to walk through fire if necessary. Some critics point to Crawford's age, but Bernie dismissed those worries. He explained that Crawford hasn't taken significant punishment in his career, has remained disciplined, and continues to train with youthful energy. In his mind, Crawford's spirit and hunger are still young. Bernie also noted that Crawford thrives on challenges, and facing Canelo is the biggest possible test. Although they missed opportunities to face Pacquiao or Mayweather, Crawford now has the chance to fight Canelo, who is a multi-division champion, powerful counterpuncher, and one of boxing's biggest names. For Team Crawford, nothing has ever come easy, but that has never stopped them before. Bernie promised that fans should expect Crawford to look good and come out victorious. When asked about what kind of fight fans should expect, Bernie was blunt. He said Crawford has guts, unlike the opponents fans recently saw against Canelo. He criticized those fighters as not really wanting to win, but he said Crawford is different. Crawford is determined, fearless, and will come to win at all costs. Bernie insisted that Crawford has never fought on the back foot his whole career, and that he always goes after his opponents. He promised that fans would see Crawford step to Canelo rather than simply retreating, because you can't beat Canelo by running all night. According to Bernie, Crawford is coming forward, he's coming to fight, and he's coming to get Canelo. Part of Crawford's preparation has been finding sparring partners who can replicate Canelo's style. One of them is Lester Martinez, a strong fighter with power and ring intelligence. Reports from the gym suggested that Crawford looked sharp against Martinez, adapting to his strength while still showing his trademark precision in counters. Some speculation even emerged that Martinez suffered migraines after sparring with Crawford, forcing him to withdraw from a fight, which fueled the belief that Crawford is looking formidable in training. On Canelo's side, preparation has also been strong. He has sparred with younger fighters like Darrell Valsaint and Marco Verdi, who bring the length, athleticism, and switching ability that mimic Crawford's style. Observers noted that Canelo is getting high-quality work to sharpen himself for Crawford's speed and unpredictability. Both camps appear to be leaving no stone unturned in preparation. Analysts and commentators have pointed out the stylistic contrast. Canelo is known for his deliberate, powerful, methodical pressure, while Crawford thrives on rhythm, improvisation, and unpredictability. Canelo tends to repeat certain combinations, whereas Crawford is fluid and versatile. Some believe that unpredictability will allow Crawford to land shots Canelo doesn't see coming, and it's often those unseen punches that do the most damage. Others caution that Crawford has never faced the level of power that Canelo brings. Even if Canelo has slowed slightly with age, his punches remain among the most dangerous in the sport. Zab Judah, a former champion, praised Crawford highly. He said Crawford's sharpness, speed, and accuracy give him a real chance to not just win rounds, but potentially put Canelo on the canvas. Judah described Crawford as one of the rare fighters who combines intelligence with natural gifts in a way that could genuinely trouble Alvarez. He even predicted that Crawford could score a knockout, though he acknowledged it would require perfect timing. In another conversation, some analysts debated whether Crawford could win by decision. Several said they leaned toward Crawford winning on points, provided he starts cautiously, boxes smoothly early, and then raises the pace in the middle rounds. One person predicted that if Crawford steps it up around rounds 5 through 8, he could have Canelo in real trouble by the 9th round, possibly even forcing Canelo to sit down from the accumulation of sharp punches. They emphasized Crawford's strength, precision, and speed as key factors. Respected trainer Derek James added his cautionary note. He explained that Crawford is unlike any opponent Canelo has ever faced, combining fluidity and explosiveness. James said Crawford is difficult to time and often produces his best work in high-pressure situations. He warned that Canelo must bring his absolute best, because underestimating Crawford would be a mistake. In his view, Canelo needs to be the bull, pressuring relentlessly, because Crawford has the speed and athleticism to dictate the fight otherwise. James underlined that this fight is complicated not only because of skill sets, but also because Crawford is moving up multiple weight classes. He wondered aloud how Crawford would handle carrying that extra weight, as moving up 3 divisions is never easy. Giron Boots Ennis, one of boxing's rising stars, called the fight a true 50-50. He acknowledged Canelo's size, experience, and dominance at higher weights, but also recognized Crawford's unmatched skill, adaptability, and toughness. Ennis said this unpredictability makes the fight fascinating because either man has the tools to neutralize the other. He concluded that fans should expect a razor-close contest where every round matters. Daniel Jacobs, who fought Canelo himself, also shared his view. Jacobs admitted that Canelo is a legendary fighter, but noted that in recent years, he has shown signs of slowing down. He said that sometimes Canelo fights in spurts and needs his opponent to force him to work. Jacobs said Crawford may need to press him at moments, testing his stamina and forcing him to throw more than he wants. Having seen Crawford's training up close, Jacobs believes Crawford has the determination and sharpness to compete at this level and even shock the world. In summary, the chorus of voices, Lennox Lewis, Brian Bomac McIntyre, Larry Merchant, Buzzy Ennis, Bernie the Boxer, Zab Judah, Derek James, Giron Ennis, Daniel Jacobs, and many others, painted a complex picture of the fight. Some stressed Crawford's speed, sharpness, and intelligence, others pointed to Canelo's power and experience, while a few reminded everyone about the danger of moving up so many weight classes. But what they all agreed on is that this matchup is one of the most intriguing in modern boxing, a true clash of styles where the smaller, faster technician meets the bigger, stronger champion. For Crawford, victory would cement his place among the all-time greats. For Canelo, it would reaffirm his dominance and silence anyone doubting him.